I live in a quiet city in the Midwest of the United States, a place without much movement, the kind that lets you breathe, without someone watching and controlling every step you take. I'm 32 years old. I have a stable job. I earn enough to pay my bills, save money, and sleep without lying awake thinking about debts or demands. I live with my partner, a practical and observant person. That has always given me a strange sense of safety. My father died months before everything truly began. It still hurts to write that, realizing I'll never be able to call him again to tell him something. It was fast, a simple funeral. After he was gone, there was a heavy silence inside me. He wasn't perfect, but he was consistent. When he said something, he stood by it. When he promised, he followed through. When he was wrong, he owned it. I grew up learning that this was the bare minimum. The will was read weeks later. My father planned everything in advance. One house was left to me. I didn't ask for it. He decided. And I accepted it because it was the last conscious decision he made thinking of me. At the time, I thought I was at peace. I had spent years rebuilding my life far away from my mother and my sister. I left my mother's house when I was still young, with a poorly closed suitcase and a knot in my stomach that mixed guilt and relief. Sometimes memories from my teenage years surfaced without warning. I pushed them away quickly. I told myself that was the past, that I had won, that I was an adult now. My partner used to say I was always ready for a fight that wasn't happening. I replied that it was just habit. Deep down, I knew it was fear. After my father's death, that fear became more alert. Even so, I kept living, working, trying to convince myself that life goes on even when certain people leave it. I truly believed they wouldn't show up. I was wrong. It was an ordinary afternoon under a cloudy sky. We were at home. The doorbell rang. A long, insistent ring. I thought it was a delivery or maybe a neighbor. Even so, when I opened the door, the world gave a small jolt. My mother was standing there, my sister right behind her. No warning beforehand, they were simply there, as if they had never left my life. My mother walked in first. My sister passed by me right after. Curious eyes, moving slowly. I stood there, frozen, not understanding. "You're not going to invite us to sit down?" my mother said, already walking toward the couch. My partner appeared in the hallway and just looked at me. That gave me a bit of grounding. My mother sat down as if she were at home, because in her mind, maybe she was. "It's hot in here. Can you get some water?" she said, without specifying for whom. She went on. "It's bigger than I remember," as if she had any legitimate memory of that place. I felt something rise in my chest. "Why are you here?" I asked. She said we needed to talk. Family matters. Family. That word always came loaded, like an advance charge. My sister appeared in the hallway again, eyes shining. "Mom, look at this. There's an entire room just for an office. This is perfect." Perfect for whom? I thought. I didn't say it. My partner came back from the kitchen with a glass of water and handed it to my mother, just observing, storing details. My mother drank, then looked at me and said, "Now that your father is gone, things need to be reorganized." I thought of saying many things, several different answers, and none of them came out. My sister sat on the arm of the couch, just watching everything. "Isn't this house too big just for you?" I felt that old impulse to justify myself, to explain. That made me even more irritated with myself. "This house is mine," I said. That's when I realized this wasn't a visit. Inside my head, everything was short and contradictory. Don't yell. Don't give in. She doesn't control you anymore. I looked at my partner again. She was standing in the corner with her arms crossed. My mother folded her hands in her lap, wearing the same expression of fake patience, the same one she used when I was a teenager, and started talking as if she were reading from a plan she had rehearsed for days. She said I was in good financial condition, that I could easily move out, and that my sister needed it more than I did. I felt something shift inside me, so I questioned her. "Are you saying I should leave my own house?" My mother simply replied, "No need to dramatize. You can stay in one of the rooms for now, until you get organized." I said that wasn't going to happen. She raised her voice then. "What did you say?" she asked. I repeated myself. "You are not moving in here. I'm not leaving. There is no negotiation." My sister let out a short, nervous laugh. That's when my mother's face changed completely. The mask dropped. The sweet tone vanished. "I'm your mother," she said, her voice louder now. "I brought you into this world. You don't talk to me like that." The old speech. The divine right of motherhood. I replied, "This is my house. Legally, formally, definitively." My sister joined in and said it wasn't fair and that she was pregnant. I looked at her. She looked very tired, but still carried that certainty that I would give in for her. That doesn't change anything. That has nothing to do with me, I said. My mother stood up too. You're forgetting your place, she said. She needed to prove she could still enter my life, sit on my couch, and make me obey. I told them they needed to leave. My mother replied, "Or what are you going to do?" I picked up my phone. That's all. A small gesture, but definitive. Her eyes widened, and at the same time she asked, "What do you think you're doing?" "Calling for help," I said. "Because you're refusing to leave my property." My sister started talking at the same time. Something about family, about shame, about me regretting this. My mother raised her hand. For a second, time went back years. My partner spoke for the first time, her voice firm. "We are recording." The phone was still in my hand. I hadn't called yet. The no had already been said. Update 1. They left that day without the police needing to arrive. That night, I didn't sleep well. I lay there staring at the ceiling. My partner didn't sleep either. She held my hand and said only, "She's not going to let this go." I knew. 2 days later, my phone started vibrating nonstop. Messages from people I hadn't seen in years, all of them judgmental. On social media, my mother had posted long texts, dramatic things about family, coldness, and ingratitude. My sister shared them shortly after, with crying emojis and phrases about injustice. In the comments, people took sides, showing sympathy. I felt an old, familiar sensation, that feeling of being in an invisible courtroom, judged by people who never wanted to hear my version. Inside my head, I thought about responding, defending myself, but deep down I knew it would be pointless. My partner sat beside me on the couch. "You can't react like before," she said. "That's what she wants." I knew. My mother always won by yelling, by social pressure, by wearing people down. She relied on the other person's exhaustion, on public shame. There was a moment when I almost wrote a long post, explaining everything. I almost published it. I deleted it. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, gathered screenshots, dates, messages, the video we recorded that day. I needed to protect myself. I contacted a lawyer my father trusted. I sent everything. I explained the situation. He was direct, no drama. "This is defamation," he said, "and you can prove it." I asked him to send a formal notice. No exaggerated threats. No exposure yet, just a clear warning. Either the false posts would be removed and corrected, or the next step would be a lawsuit. When my mother received the notice, it didn't take even an hour for her to call me. I answered. I recorded it. She screamed, said I was exaggerating and that everything she did was for my sister's good. I waited until she finished. "Take the posts down," I said. "Tell the truth, or I'll send everything to the rest of the family, to your workplace, and move forward with the lawsuit." Silence on the other end. She took a deep, heavy breath. "You were always cruel," she said. That night, the posts disappeared. A text about misunderstanding, about emotion, about exaggeration. For a few weeks, nothing happened. I started noticing strange things. A car driving slowly past my house. A strange profile viewing my online stories. We installed discreet cameras. Nothing extreme. That was when the memories started coming back more strongly, teenage years. The constant feeling that nothing was really mine. I also started connecting dots that for years I had treated as isolated episodes. The way my mother always needed to be the public victim, never accepted losing a dispute without turning it into a narrative. One afternoon, I got a call from my sister. Her voice was different. She said things were difficult, the relationship, her partner's distrust, that our mother was trying to help, but only making things worse. I listened in silence. That night, I thought about how I spent half my life trying to prove I wasn't exaggerating, that it wasn't all in my head. I still thought the worst was over. That's what scared me later. My sister's call wasn't the last one. She called other times, always at strange hours, almost always late at night, speaking in circles, starting a sentence and abandoning it halfway, as if she were afraid. She started talking about her partner, how distant he was, how he asked too many questions. Then she told me, "He's questioning whether this baby is really his." I closed my eyes for a second. I asked who had raised that possibility first. There was a silence that lasted too long on the other end of the line. "It was a conversation," she said. "Our mother mentioned some things." Of course she did. From that point on, I was officially back in territory I had promised myself I would never step into again. A problem that wasn't mine, and yet I knew that if I stayed completely out of it, the ending would be the same as always. Someone broken. My mother at the center, untouched. I agreed to meet them both. When they arrived, I saw the wear on both of them. We talked about the obvious first. Work. Weather. Then the conversation went where we all knew it would. He talked about the insecurity that had been planted, said he had heard stories, comments. He spoke about her mother as if walking on unstable ground, choosing his words carefully. I listened to everything before speaking. When I did, I was direct. If you want to move forward together, you need facts. I suggested a test. No accusation, just a concrete step to cut the poison at the root. They both agreed. The problem, of course, was money. They didn't have extra for that. I paid for the paternity test. I made it clear it came with conditions. No constant requests. No implied favors. In the days that followed, something changed. My mother started calling my sister more. Long messages, voice notes, unsolicited advice. When the test result was delayed, I knew. My sister called, nervous, saying the envelope hadn't arrived, that our mother had gotten the mail first. I had asked for a copy to be sent to my house. Old prevention. I just told her to breathe and wait. I called my mother. She denied everything as always. The next day, I took my sister and her partner out to lunch. I placed the envelope on the table, opened it slowly, read the result in silence before handing it to them. It was positive. Her partner cried, held her hand, talked about marriage, about the future. My sister cried too, but differently, like someone who realizes they almost lost everything by trusting the wrong person. I watched, knowing it wasn't over yet. When I dropped my sister back at our mother's house, something was wrong. There were boxes on the lawn, trash bags, clothes thrown carelessly. My mother appeared at the door, furious, yelling, cutting words, insults I won't repeat here, impossible demands, an ultimatum. My sister dropped to her knees on the lawn, holding her belly, crying in a way I had never seen. Update 2. I turned off the car. My sister was on the ground. Her partner stood beside her. My mother occupied the doorway like a stage. There was no attempt to seem reasonable, just raw fury. Enough, I said, stepping forward. She turned her face toward me as if only then noticing me. With her finger pointed straight at me, she said, "This is your fault. All of this. You ruined everything." My mother took a step forward and screamed, "You, out of here now." My sister's partner helped her stand carefully, trying to calm her. My sister was shaking all over. As they gathered what they could carry, my mother kept talking. I didn't argue. I didn't respond. I recorded everything discreetly. She went inside, slamming the door. I stood there looking at the house where I had learned everything I never wanted to repeat. I took my sister and her partner to a hotel that night. Before going up to the room, she looked at me with red, empty eyes and said, "I thought she would change." I didn't know what to say. 2 days after that expulsion, my phone rang while I was at work. It was my partner, asking me to come home urgently. When I got home, before even parking, I saw broken glass, shards scattered across the yard. One of the front windows was completely destroyed. The hidden cameras recorded everything. My mother appeared clearly in the footage, leaving no room for doubt. I watched it with a strange calm. I called the police. When they arrived, I already had the videos, timestamps, and audio recordings separated. I didn't dramatize. I didn't exaggerate. I just handed over the facts. They did the rest. My mother was located that same day. She didn't resist. She didn't cry. She tried to argue, according to one of the officers, said she was emotionally shaken, that she didn't mean to cause that much damage. She was arrested, released hours later, but with a clear restraining order. She could not come near me, my house, or my partner within a radius defined by the court. When I signed the papers, I felt physical relief. I didn't ask for compensation for the damage. I replaced the windows anyway. The story spread quickly through the family. This time, not through distorted social media posts, but through videos, evidence. I made a point of posting everything myself. My sister spoke too. She told almost everything, without defending. She moved into a small apartment with her partner, started therapy, stopped calling our mother by the childish nickname. For the first time, she spoke of her as a real person, not an untouchable entity. My mother ended up alone. She still has the house, still has the job, but she lost the stage and the audience.